Welcome back to Points Travel Tech, where you join me as we embark on an epic wedding anniversary journey from Vienna to Mexico City, flying in British Airways First Class. Is it truly a first-class luxury experience or just the best business class, as many claim? Let's find out together. Our journey begins at Terminal 1 of Vienna Airport. The short feeder flight to London Heathrow was in business class, which allowed us to check in at the Club Europe desk. Thanks to the included fast track, we were airside in no time. Terminal 1 houses a single lounge, aptly named the Vienna Lounge. It's fairly new, serves business class passengers from nearly every airline using T1, and also welcomes paid guests and priority pass members. This is, hands down, the best business class lounge experience you'll find at Vienna Airport. It's spacious and bright, with plenty of seating, good food and drink options, an outdoor terrace, apron views, showers, and even nap areas. There's a nice nod to Vienna's traditional coffeehouse culture as well, with classic wooden chairs, newspaper holders, and of course, Apfelstrudel. It's no surprise this lounge was voted Best European Priority Pass Lounge in 2024. The 2-hour hop to London on an A320 pleasantly surprised me. The blocked middle seat was accompanied by 3 choices of hot meals, all catered by Do&Co. I went for the fish in a slightly spicy sauce, and it was genuinely delicious. I had added an overnight layover to our booking, which gave us a chance to enjoy a lovely anniversary dinner at Oblix in the Shard, with incredible views across London and food to match. We spent the night at the Hilton London Heathrow near Terminal 4, which turned out to be great value for money. At the hotel, I set up my Saily eSIM for our journey to Mexico, today's video sponsor. If you travel internationally and want fast, reliable data without swapping SIM cards or hunting for Wi-Fi, Saily makes it effortless. You install the app and the eSIM once, choose your destination, and activate your plan in seconds. No QR codes, no setup stress. We used Saily traveling across Quintana Roo, from Cancun to Tulum, and even Bacalar. And it worked flawlessly for maps, translations, and uploads on the go. It also includes built-in ad blocking, web protection, and the option to choose a virtual location for extra privacy. Saily works in over 200 destinations, and you can pick local, regional, or global plans depending on your trip. Use my code POINTSTRAVELTECH for 15% off your first data plan. The link's in the description below. Thanks to Saily for supporting the channel. Now, back to the trip. The next morning, we got the full first-class check-in experience at Heathrow Terminal 5. Entering the exclusive first wing, we found multiple check-in desks, private security, and a separate walkway leading directly to the lounges. You're greeted by the famous horse lamp and immediately step into the first-class lounge. But hang on. If you're a One World Emerald member, you can access everything up to this point, including the first class lounge itself. However, if you're flying British Airways First Class, you get access to the elusive Concorde Room, and that's where we're heading right now. This was my first visit to the Concorde Room. Having seen it in so many videos, it was exciting to finally experience it in person. In all honesty, it felt quite crowded compared to other first-class lounges I've visited. It's not as obvious on camera, but it also felt surprisingly dark. There's a restaurant area inside, but we chose to sit in the gallery section, which had lots of natural light and felt far more open. We got a table in the restaurant area and were offered the choice between the breakfast and lunch menus. We went with lunch. We ordered 3 of the 4 starters, all of which were good, but the shellfish bisque was fantastic. For mains, my wife ordered the trout, which turned out to be a very dried piece of salmon with no explanation or apology given, while I went for the Concorde burger. The burger was fine, but the fries were unfortunately inedible. Quite disappointing, especially for a true first-class lounge. There was also a small buffet, including a self-serve champagne bar featuring Pommery Louise 2006, a bottle retailing for around €200. The Concorde Room used to serve passengers flying the Concorde to New York back in the day. Today, a genuine Concorde nose cone is displayed in the lounge along with other British Airways memorabilia scattered throughout. So far, the ground experience was good, but not outstanding for first class. With so many oneworld status holders and multiple BA flights featuring a first cabin, the overall atmosphere felt less exclusive than with other airlines. Maybe I'm nitpicking, but at these ticket prices, expectations are naturally high. Leaving the lounge dropped us right back into the chaos of Heathrow. Our gate was located in a satellite terminal, and instead of taking the train, we decided to walk through the tunnel to get a few steps in. First class wasn't called separately during boarding, so we joined status holders and business class passengers before stepping onto the Boeing 787-9 Dreamliner. Once on board, we turned left, passing through the small business class cabin, fitted with the infamous yin-yang seats, and entered the first class cabin. It's arranged in a 1-to-1 layout and consists of just 2 rows, making a total of 8 seats. The cabin feels intimate and sophisticated, and I actually like the design. Soon after sitting down, we were welcomed with a glass of champagne. Cheers! The seats don't have doors, but thanks to the slightly staggered layout between the window and middle seats, privacy is adequate. You can, however, see what your neighbor is watching. Let's jump straight into the seats tour. There are no overhead bins above the middle seats and no individual air vents. The IFE screen isn't huge, but the short viewing distance makes up for it. The side panel opens to reveal a small wardrobe with a surprisingly spacious compartment below. There's also storage under the ottoman, which can be pulled closer if you're not as tall as I am. The ottoman, storage cubby padding, and the left panel are all level with the seat in bed mode, creating a wider sleeping surface than you might expect. The table is released with a button, sturdy but a little on the small side, as you'll see later. To the left sits a dimmable lamp and the seat controls. By my left shoulder was another storage compartment with a mirror and 2 partitions. Below the lower divider was yet another storage nook, housing the IFE remote, headphone jack, 2 USB-A ports, and a universal power socket. The window seats offer the same setup along with 2 windows each. In terms of amenities, a pillow, light blanket, and noise-canceling headphones were waiting at the seat, followed with dark blue pajamas that fit well and looked surprisingly elegant. The posh slippers were great, I still wear them at home. Next to the champagne and warm nuts, the amenity kit was presented, and it was genuinely impressive. I still use the oversized eye mask, and the lotions, creams, and especially the travel-sized deodorant were very handy. The BA First branded pen will let others know you traveled in style. Still on the ground, menus were handed out. Feel free to pause the video here. And our orders were taken by the friendly crew. After takeoff, service began with a trio of canapes. The table was nicely set, though you can already tell it's a bit of a tight fit. I went for the lobster appetizer, which was fantastic, while my wife enjoyed the artichoke soup. For the main course, I chose the steak, full of flavor and tender, even though it was cooked through. My wife was pleased with her chicken Wellington. For dessert, I tried 2 options and skipped the cheese. Overall, a very pleasant meal. Do&Co Catering really doesn't disappoint. There's a single lavatory for first class at the very front of the aircraft. The size was average and it lacked amenities. At least there was a padded fold-down seat which helps when changing clothes. After the service, where the cabin was dimmed, I settled in for a movie. Easier said than done. Almost every function of the seat is controlled via this single knob. You select a feature, then twist to adjust it. It's finicky and unintuitive, to say the least. Even worse, my seat froze mid-recline and it took 3 different crew members to fix it. Once it was finally working, the crew added the bedding, including a mattress topper. It's the smallest first-class bed I've experienced, but it's a bit wider than it looks. Your feet aren't trapped in a cubby, though the space does taper downwards. The screen hovering above my knees wasn't ideal when trying to lounge comfortably. I ordered some tea and watched a couple of movies. The IFE remote was sluggish and frustratingly slow, and while the selection was fine, it wasn't outstanding. Free Wi-Fi was available for first-class passengers, but the internet connection was unreliable, intermittently cutting in and out throughout the flight. Let's quickly talk about how I booked and what I paid. I redeemed 2 one-way first-class tickets using British Airways Avios, transferred from credit card points. The cost was 105,000 Avios and around 360 euros per person. Strangely, this was 10,000 Avios less than business class on the same route. So I really lucked out. Finding first-class award availability can be tricky, but here's my tip. First, search for the direct first-class flight, in my case, London to Mexico City. Once you find availability, search again including your region. For me, that was Vienna. And make sure to tick the box that says, I want to break my journey and choose my stopovers. This enabled online booking for the entire itinerary. After booking, I called BA and on my 3rd attempt, reached an agent willing to move our Vienna-London feeder flight to the day before, free of charge. Before landing, we were served another meal. I went for the tiger prawn salad, the steak sandwich, and the crème caramel, all of which tasted great. So, time for a quick summary. British Airways First Class is certainly a step up from their business class, but it comes with caveats. I expected the ground experience to be just okay, but I still left the Concorde Room a bit disappointed. The seat is, without a doubt, the least spacious first class seat I've tried, and many modern business class suites, even BA's own club suite, now offer more privacy with closing doors. The good news is that BA has already announced their new first class seat and it looks very promising. Service was friendly, yes, but not particularly personal. My attempts at small talk and aviation chat fell flat. The crew didn't do anything wrong, but they also didn't go above and beyond. The food, however, was excellent. No complaints there. Would I fly BA first class again? Yes, but probably only to try the new seats. If your aircraft is equipped with the new club suites in business class, I'd save the money or the Avios and go with that instead. If you found this video helpful, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who's considering flying British Airways. Thanks again to Saily for sponsoring this video, and don't forget to use the code PointsTravelTech to get 15% off your first data plan. If you'd like to see which other airline uses Do&Co catering, check out this video next. Thank you so much for watching, happy travels, and see you soon.